well, what stood out for me and what you highlight in your research is related to these associations, two subjective states, life legacy and life momentum. And I really like how you phrase these learnings. So let's talk about what life legacy is. What is life legacy?
Sure. Well, life legacy is this feeling that your past experience, past events, past self too, have meaningfully contributed to who you are, what you're doing, what you're valuing, and what kind of life you have right now. So really the past present linkage and the feeling that you're almost building on top of something you have accomplished, whether it's actual goals and things, activities and project, but also your personal growth probably from the past, that you're being on top of it, that you're who you are, what you are now, what you're doing right now is meaningfully connected to that past.
Yeah, I can actually think of a really good example for me, and this would have been my traineeship to Japan in 1995. So I was awarded a traineeship to work in a restaurant chain in Japan, and that experience probably was an ikigai experience. I had 1 year in Japan. I learned so much about Japan and I learned the language, but I also learned a lot about myself. But that experience led to so many other things related to Japan, me meeting my wife, even obviously what I'm doing now. So yeah, I remember back to that experience and I see it as a very meaningful and positive experience. And it definitely shaped my past and has shaped my current life.
Right.
So it's really, I like this term to think life legacy. We don't have to be old and gray to have a life legacy. It's something, it's like a journey. I'm still relatively young. So.
That's a very good point. I mean, I talk to university students in Japan. University students are pretty, in a set age. It's very, 18 to 22. That's the age group I talk to mostly. So really even that, we would right now call the property emerging adults, if you will, young adults, emerging adults. They still have much to be proud of, really, in terms of life legacy. And of course, this will maybe change over time, what counts as legacy and their magnitude of legacy, maybe, hopefully, as we live, probably the quote unquote, the value of the legacy, the project that we work on, for example, right, career wise, or even the maturity of our hobby, just the excellence of it too, will maybe increase. And, maybe the legacy gets bigger and bigger, and the legacy from 30s could be bigger when you're 60s, for example. But also we may develop some different, personal values and social values. We live in a dynamic society. So what we really value could change as we go. So it's really, it's not really absolute or it's not really static. It's definitely relative and a dynamic process.